Have you ever wondered how to make spam? Amazing, delicious, bacon-flavored spam? What about a green onion pancake? Crispy, flaky sesame green onion pancake. What about the dipping sauce? End all dipping sauces. Well, today, I'm going to teach you how to make all that and more. Scallion, bacon spam, nice egg, some American cheese, not house-made because there's nothing better than store-bought. Spicy, salty, funky, sour. The dipping sauce to end up dipping sauces. Let's do it.
My name is Danny Stoller. I'm a chef, an outdoorsman, a traveler, and an eternal student. I've spent my life in a continual search for amazing food, the best conversations, and experiences distinct from the usual. In 2025, my wife and I traveled out of the United States for 180 days. Every week, I will recreate a dish that we ate, share more context than is necessary, and make jokes that no one finds funny. This is the 6-month honeymoon.
Taiwan was our first stop. We took a 14-hour direct flight from SFO. I slept 4 or 5 hours, which for me is good on a plane. I have notoriously a hard time sleeping on a plane. We got in at like 4 a.m. And we didn't think about the fact that we couldn't check into our hotel until 3 p.m. And our room was not ready because someone was still literally asleep in the bed. We left our stuff and we tried to figure out how we were going to fill the 8 hours from when we got to our hotel and when we were going to be able to check in. Then we had to figure out what to do. And I was hungry, and I had seen on Google Maps that there was actually a street food market, like a night market, right around the corner from where we were staying. And what was funny was we actually were coming on the tail end of the night market. So Taiwan is legendary for its night markets. Specifically the food. There's also some vending machine arcades and a lot of dildo-shaped or penis-shaped stuffed animals and dildo whistles and all sorts of things that you wouldn't expect the Taiwanese to want to sell. We came across a food stand that was kind of one of the last open, and they were making this scallion pancake with egg and ham. And I'm kind of a sucker for egg and ham, and I love scallion pancakes, so it was a no-brainer. Even our sleep-deprived state, to watch them make it, watch the pneumatic press that they had that took the jelly roll discs and turned them into perfect little vessels for the food. And we sat down and dug in. And it was a great welcome to Taiwan, which is why I wanted to recreate it today. We're going to do a couple different things. We'll make a green onion pancake. Instead of ham, I wanted to make spam, specifically bacon spam, because that sounds cool to me. 3 types of pork, what could go wrong? 3 porks, 1 meat. Cut that. And I wanted to make a nice sauce that reminded me of the spicy sauce that I got ours with. So hope you enjoy this video. Let's get to it. I start the spam by slicing the ham, a pork butt, and the bacon into manageable chunks for the grinder. I'll then place them in the freezer to chill while I set up the grinder. You don't need to be super careful with the pieces because we're grinding it, but you do want to get them small enough that they will fit down the feeding tube. I usually start by making a strip in one direction, then go back to the next. Oh yeah, pork stack. Now it goes into the freezer. You'll notice that I stored my grinder parts in the freezer. This is to ensure that as we grind, nothing gets too warm. While you don't have to do this, I highly recommend it. It's important that as you add the meat to the hopper, you do it slowly and carefully. If you overload it, you can get meat that does not grind properly or overheats.
Now that you've ground all of the meat, it's important to go back and regrind half of it. This is going to give us a better final texture with a smoother finish on the palate.
After we've ground all of it once and half of it twice, ready to put it in a mixer. I'll put the beater attachment in, and then I'm going to mix it on low. And the goal here is to activate as much myosin as possible. That's a natural protein within the meat that gets brought out by salt. So there's already plenty of salt in the ham and the bacon. We'll add our seasonings, and then we'll make a tester batch. So as you can see, the meat has started to come together in a sticky texture. That means that we're ready to add our salt and sugar, because that's what life lives on. Some nutritional yeast that I finely ground into a powder. Pink salt, so that's also known as Instacure #1. That's going to help us keep the nice pink color that the ham and bacon have. And some ground up bay leaves. As I mix the spices in, I'm going to slowly add in some cold ice water to help keep the temperature nice and cold. Smells really good, bacony, hammy, smoky. I'm gonna add a little bit of a mixture of corn and potato starch, and then the moment I've been waiting for, I'm gonna taste it. So while I'm preheating my pan, just wanted to show you the texture bam to be. So it's light pink, nice and sticky to the touch. All the fats kind of formed into one smooth piece. You really want to make sure that you taste it and ensure that you're tasting it properly, because you can't go back in time. There's no do-overs in life. That's what my divorce lawyer once told me. I've never been divorced.
Store the majority of the mix in the fridge while you cook your tester. Make sure you get a nice sear on both sides so it tastes the best you can possibly have it. Moment of truth. Homemade bacon spam taste test. Oh yeah. So it tastes like spam. It's super juicy and the bacon flavor really comes through. So imagine a better tasting, smokier spam. Yeah. Add half a mind not to bake it and just sear it all up for lunch. It's bologna sandwiches. But no, I'm not going to do that. All right. Figure it out. So we passed the test, not the STD test, just the taste test. What? I'm kidding. I'm just going to take this paper towel, rub grease all over the inside of this here loaf pan. This here loaf pan, right? We're going to do spam. We going to talk like we eat spam. You know what I'm saying? Dave Ramsey. And what you're trying to do when you're packing this in is to make it as compact as possible. So we're going to kind of force it into the pan like so. 1, 2. Oh yeah. Yeah, you kind of want to take your rage and your aggression out on the spin. It feels so much better. Give it the old heave ho. Get as much air pocket as possible. Punch it if you need to. Everything you're upset about, it's going great. That is beautiful beauty. It's gorgeous. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't look that good right now. We're going to put it in the fridge to chill while I preheat the oven. Put it in the oven, preheat to 300 in a water bath, just like we did with the chicken liver pate on the video that you did not watch, but you're going to now. Am I right? Let's get hype. What's up? That's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Cook it 45 minutes to an hour. Temp it with thermometer. No use sentences no more. Temp it with a thermometer like a normal person.
We'll go like 145, and then we'll press it, and then we'll eat it tomorrow, not today. So be patient. Also, do this ahead. If you're trying to eat today, you should have done this not today. Capiche? Capiche. Hello, unruly child. We are making spam. That was terrible. That was not good. Sounded Indian. Did not sound like Julia Child. Let's cook this spam. Try to be snappier, hoppier, zippier. Spam. Cold, chill. In the pan. Spam. Pan of spam. Water. Hot. Oh. Like a steam bath. Like a steam bath of my dreams. Spam. Steam. Yeah, this is the only kettle I have. Boil. Cover. Oven. Boom. Bam. Be careful. Don't spill your water. Alexa, set timer for 45 minutes. It's my girl.
45 minutes. Starting now.
She's so calm. It's amazing. Not gonna lie. Spam is a polarizing ingredient. A lot of people think it's disgusting, offensive, trashy. It may be all those things, but for me, I think it's also delicious. I wanted to make spam because I think it most accurately represents the ham that we ate when we had our breakfast pancake. I also just happen to love spam. If you make it with really high quality pork and good ham and delicious bacon, it tastes a little bit better than what people think of when they think of spam. Spam in the factory is stuffed into the cans and then pressure sealed and cooked. And that's what makes it so ribbed for everyone's pleasure when it goes and slides out of the can. That's why I made spam. You upset about it? Fight me. Literally help. So it's temping right at 145, and it has released a fair amount of juices, which is okay. Press it with another loaf pan and let it set in the fridge overnight. For weights, you can use canned goods, a dog, just kidding, liquor, if you're not drinking it, anything that's going to just give a lot of downward pressure. The green onion pancake is a really interesting recipe. It's a study in how to limit gluten production. So gluten is a naturally occurring protein in wheat. You may have heard it when people say, oh, I'm gluten-free, I'm gluten intolerant. It is harder to digest than a lot of other proteins and starches and grains. This particular protein, gluten, is formed when cold or lukewarm water is added to flour, which is then agitated. If we add boiling water, like we're going to do in this recipe, what happens is it actually limits the gluten formation and makes a dough that's a lot easier to work with. And because all we're really looking to do is bring the starches and the waters together, we don't need a lot of gluten for our structure. Once we combine the water and let it rest for a little bit, we're going to essentially laminate the dough. So laminated dough, you may know from such favorites as a croissant or a cronut, or a variety of things like puff pastry that may be based on a croissant, like a cronut. To do that, we're first going to roll our dough out into a nice even circle. We're going to lightly brush it with sesame oil. We'll roll it up once and make that into a jelly roll. But we're not done yet, folks. This is where the power of lamination comes in. We're then going to roll it out a second time into a circle, brush it with sesame oil, and add our scallions. One more roll up and one more jelly roll later. We're going to roll it out and we have laminated dough. When we go to eat it, we'll see that it has nice, tender, flaky crust. I love this recipe at dim sum. It's one of my favorites to order. It's a nice starter, comes out quick. It's always easy to share because they cut it into little slivers. In this case, we're going to leave it whole because we're going to use it as the base of our sandwich. Or whatever you call it. I don't know what to call it. Making pancakes. We'll start the dough by putting our flour into the bowl of our food processor along with salt. Give it a few quick pulses until you know it's well combined, then let her rip. Once the blade is spinning fully, drizzle in about 3/4 of your water, stopping when it looks like a dough has started to form. The goal is not to have something completely smooth, but rather something you can knead into a ball. Sprick. Little bit of flour. Sprick. Turn the dough out onto a well-floured surface, then start to knead it. The goal is to fold it over until it comes together into a nice, smooth ball. This may take up to 10 minutes, but it usually comes together a little bit quicker. When the dough is completed, place it in a bowl and cover it with plastic wrap and let it sit at room temperature for 30 minutes. While your dough rests, start slicing your scallions. Get them as thin as you can on a light bias.
Beautiful scallions.
The time is now. The place is for making pancakes. Scallion pancakes. We're going to divide it into 4 chunks. Make it even. Then we put it in the air. Let's ball these chunks up, baby. Four balls. Next, we're going to laminate. Shaped. Get it coated with it. Roll it up. So we're going to jelly roll it. Tell that. Beauty. She's a beauty. Very rich. Scallions. Roll it up. Jelly roll. Smash it. Temperature blows. Nice little scallion pancake. Let's make a dipping sauce. Spicy. Sour. Sweet like me. Funky. That spicy, sour, sweet dipping sauce. Let's do it. Sugar. Get in there. Get in there. Vinegar. I'm mixing this into raw bean spicy paste, which is the literal goat. So good, funky, salty, spicy. It's everything you want, nothing you don't. And then we're gonna mix it with good old sriracha. Sriracha. Mix it up. Buttercup. Look at that. It's groovy.
I'll wake you up. That's breakfast. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. That is breakfast.
I wish that I had a more official sounding name for the sauce, but the fact is, when I got it on my breakfast, it was only referred to as spicy sauce. I don't know if that's a direct translation or if that's the result of a poor translation or English not being someone's first language, but whatever it was very savory, very salty, a little bit sour and spicy. And so I wanted to recreate that with the sauce that we made today. I think this sauce would be great with a variety of other things, from dumplings to rice bowls to any, cooked meats. I think it's very versatile, and I definitely recommend you keep some around your house.
Moment of spam truth. Let's get this baby out.
The best way to remove the spam from the pan is to heat it over a burner for a few seconds.
Let's flip it.
I know it looks good. Now you're going to slice it into 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch slices and sear it up in a hot skillet.
Let's taste this. We have done it. We have made bacon spam. Breakfast just got a little better. A lot better.
To cook the scallion pancake, heat a slick of oil over medium to medium-high heat. Once the top starts to set and the edges are fully brown, check the bottom for doneness and flip it over. You'll see that there's a nice mixture of dark and caramelized pieces, and it's just starting to set. Next stop, flaky goodness. While your pancake is cooking, it's time to get cooking. On other good looking, I don't have a rhyme, so stop, listen, looking. We're gonna sear the spam over medium-high heat in a cast iron skillet and crack a nice egg. Please, I beg of you, do not forget to salt your egg after you put it in the pan. It's all coming together, folks. Pancake goes down. Slice of American cheese. Let's go. It's melting. I'm hot. You're hot. It's hot. Why are we yelling? Don't forget to flip your egg. Don't forget to flip your spam. Put that hot spam on the melted cheese. Are you seeing where we're going with this thing? It's gonna be good. Eggs out. Eggs down. Sauce is going on. There is no such thing as too much sauce. Now this fat guy is gonna eat it. My wife doesn't like it when I call myself fat. Ooh. Look at that guy eating it. What a psycho.
This might be better than the one from Taiwan.
I'm just gonna go ahead and let this psycho keep doing what he's doing. I'll be honest, that was kind of a weird day, and it's not my best moment. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll come back for next week. Thanks for listening.